Welcome, hosts Dustin, and Anna.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tales from the Barrens. I'm Big Dustin.
I'm Tiny D.
Micro D, baby.
Micro.
No Anna tonight, unfortunately, because she is feeling under the weather, but do not fear. We brought backup. We brought good friend of the show. We got Brett Parker from Dissect That Film on. Parker, what the hell's up, man?
Oh, I've been waiting a long time to be invited back on the Barrens.
Yeah,
and
you know why?
And specifically this show.
Do you remember why you were here? What happened the last time you were here?
Do we gotta talk about it?
I picked John Carpenter's best movie.
Yeah, with Amber Turd.
Yeah, we didn't have fun.
We did have fun. I will
we
give you
did.
that. We did have fun.
Yeah, he picked the Mikey Ward last time he was here. So.
The Mikey Ward. I love that.
Oh, man, but we are not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about short films. And boy, I cannot wait. 3 very different short films tonight. And here is the disclaimer. At the beginning, we walk through the shorts. So please, if you want to go watch them, pause us, go watch the shorts, and then come back and listen to what we think.
Yes. The shorts are linked down below on every episode, regardless of where you watch it or listen.
And all of these are our opinions. Okay? It's what we think about the short. So,
Yes.
Parker, we are super stoked that you get to join us for our Tales because I know you love anthologies because Trick or Treat's one of your favorite movies, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
getting to build our own has been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
But Parker didn't come empty-handed. Parker actually brought a short to the table.
Yes.
And Parker, would you like to tell us what that short is?
So the short I brought today was I think it came out in 2020. I'm not 100% sure,
Yes.
but it's called Portrait of God.
2022.
Okay. So yeah, a couple years later. But yeah, Portrait of God. I actually was scrolling through Instagram and I stopped on a video. A guy was talking about a short film, and I was like, you know what? That's what I want to do. It sounded very interesting to me because as someone who's not a religious person, I have such a weird fascination with religious horror.
Sure.
Same,
And so
honestly.
so I was like sold. I was, just hearing the brief premise of the short, I was like, I don't even care if it's not that good. This is what I want to bring to the table, and we'll see if it has the goods or if it disappoints. Right?
If it does what, Dustin? Where do we take these shorts?
To the scare scale. Blah.
We bring them to the scare scale, and for those who are new, that we break down the short per letter of scare. So it's for story, creature, atmosphere, runtime, and effect. It's a 0 to 1 rating for each letter, which gives us a number out of 5 for a final rating. So, Parker, without further ado, man, would you like to take us through Portrait of God?
Yeah, this is a very simple one. So there is a woman or a girl. She seems like she's either in college or high school. She is preparing for a presentation about a portrait of God, which is literally pretty much an experiment where they put a blank like canvas and people would look at it, and then either they would see nothing or they would see God himself or their interpretation of God. And she's timing herself, trying to get her presentation under a certain time. And she is, of course, she's also religious herself. But she's very confused why everybody is having these experiences, but she is not. She actually has a bunch of recordings of people who have seen the face of God already, and just the different reactions to seeing it. But she doesn't see anything until something slightly starts to change, and she starts to see glowing eyes, and then she starts to see an outline of some sort of. You don't really know what it is. Is it a creature? Is it a person? What is it? But it's very eerie. She moves close. She sees it more clearly, but then she starts to put up the screen, and the figure is still there.
Yes.
And then she starts to go into like a dream state where she is like in this barren hallway. Barren hallway.
Where? The Barrens hallway hideout?
Yeah. And she, in the distance, sees this thing come towards her, but she doesn't want to face it. She is clutching her crucifix as she is, trying to hide from this creature. I'm going to call it a creature. This thing is
Sure.
This isn't a human. This isn't humanoid at all. And as it comes closer, it like turns her face towards him, and then she wakes up from this like state, and it shows her phone, and she has been staring at this wall for 3 hours. And her hand is bloody because she is clutching her crucifix so tight that has caused herself to bleed. And yeah, that is Portrait of God.
Hell yeah. I'm going to look up the runtime for this, but
It was
go
short,
ahead.
like 9 minutes and like.
I think it was 7 minutes and 40 something seconds.
Was it? Maybe it was around
it was a short
there.
one.
It was pretty short.
Yeah, but Parker, go ahead and take us over to the scare scale, man. Go ahead and let's start rating this thing.
All right, we're gonna go over to the scare scale. You're gonna have to remind me what
story.
each category is here. So story, I'm giving this a 1. I love it's simple, but it's effective.
Okay.
All right. She is doing her project. She is literally trying to figure out why she cannot see this face of God as everyone else has seen before. She has her experience, and then she wakes up and it's over. I think it's very simple, but it's to the point. It doesn't confuse the viewers. It is telling a simple story. So I'm going to give it a 1.
Sure. Next would be creature.
Creature. This creature's creepy, man. This creature definitely is effective. It's because it's one of those things where, as like I said, I'm not a religious person, okay? And people don't really know what God would look like, right? Because is he a humanoid entity? Is he just a being? We don't know. So like, is this truly the face of God? So we're seeing this interpretation. Is it a demon? Is it God? What is this thing? But I think it's really eerie, man. Especially just the eyes, the glowing eyes, and then just that slight outline of the creature as she gets closer to it, and then seeing it in full. It's very eerie, but you've seen it before, so I'm not going to give it a 1 because it's something that I feel like it's very similar, to some of these like really eerie, like elongated humanoid creatures. So I'm going to give it a 0.75.
Okay. And then next would be atmosphere.
Ooh, it's 100% a 1. This is just creepy from beginning to end, man. You know something is in this room. You know she's going to experience something. And when it does finally happen, I think this actress really sells the whole experience. And then of course when she goes into her dream state, I think it's so well done. So I'm definitely giving that a 1.
Awesome. Runtime.
Oh, 7.5 minutes or 7:45 or however long it is.
7.5 minutes.
Beautiful. It was simple and to the point. It walked through the door, it left, and I was satisfied. So I'm going to give that a 1.
And finally, effects.
Ooh. I mean, I think that goes with the creature design because the creature is ultimately like your main effect.
Sure.
Right? And also I would say the effects work on the projector switching then to the wall, however they ended up doing that. I thought that was really, really effective. But I'm going to probably have the same score as I did with the creature design. So I'm going to give it a 0.75.
Sure.
Because it was really, the effects were great. But I think the creature is kind of the main effect. I can't really go higher than what I gave the creature.
Okay. That's pretty solid.
So that gives you a 4.5 out of 5.
Wow.
Nice, dude. Nice. All right, Lil D, what you got, man?
All right. Story. Yeah, I'm going to give that a 1 for sure. I loved how you were kind of introduced on this, and you're intrigued as to what she's doing because she's like also doing like like she's voicing over it, and I don't know if she was like recording it, whatever. But seeing her go through the notions of this, and then her really start to realize like, okay, all these people have had this, and I haven't really tried. At least maybe she hasn't tried to like really look at whatever she was trying to present. So then she put herself there, and then she ran through everything, and then you see this being. To me, it kind of gave me like Lovecraftian vibes a little bit. Like it was like a weird fucking Lovecraft creature that was there. That was really really cool. So I'm gonna go into the creature now. As you were saying, Parker, yeah, this is kind of, we've seen things like this before. You know, me saying like Lovecraftian, whatever. As much as I really did like it, I'm going to give it a 0.5. I thought that it was really good, and maybe there could have been more for it. But I know for probably how low budget this was, it was hard to do like a full scale actual thing there. But what was cool in like that dream state is seeing the mouth open, and you're like, oh, is it gonna eat this girl? What the hell's going on? And she wakes up. That was pretty sick too. I was like, this is creepy as hell.
Real quick, you just brought this up. Do you guys want to guess the budget for this short film?
$200.
Probably like $1,000.
$150.
Whoa!
Wow.
That was wow.
I get it was
dude.
probably just like filmed at a college or something, right?
Yeah.
Probably in like a classroom.
Very impressive. Now I might
Wow.
Yes, very impressive. Wow.
Hell
I
yeah.
might have to change some things now, knowing that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But now I'm going to lead into atmosphere, which I guess really does tie into like how the creature like makes some of these scenes really crazy, like the mouth opening, or even with her coming out of the trance and she's like crying, like her face is so wet. I don't know if it's from like the pain, or maybe she was really like envisioning what was happening. I'm going to give that a 1, just because I loved the whole flow and how it really sucked you in, and there was a little bit of a dread there too. You're like, what's happening? And then we're going to go over to runtime, which is definitely going to be another 1 for sure. Because I think anything under 10 minutes, I think deserves a 1, unless they're using 10 minutes kind of not well. So 1 for that. And then for effects, I think I might go ahead and give this one a 0.75 for that one. Because it really was a creature, and also like we're talking like the projector screen going up, but also some really cool shots too of how the title card was, and the projector was coming down, and it was also like making the words disappear. I thought was really really cool, and for it also being $150 budget, they used it really really well. So 0.75 for me. So I think that gives me what, 4.25.
It gives you a 4.25.
Hell yes.
Oh, speaking of that title card, I think that was the name of her project.
Yeah.
Was the face of God.
Yeah. The portrait of God.
Or
Yeah.
Portrait of God, yeah.
What about you,
Yeah,
dude?
get it right, Parker. It's your short. All right, for me, man. You know, I watched this with my wife. You know, just a little bit ago, and she was scared. You know, like there's things that kind of like that scared her, dude. And the story of this is, like Parker said, it's in and out, but it is so precise that we get it. Like, she wants to understand what people are seeing. I feel like it's more like she's doing this project more or less to discipline herself. She wants to see what people are seeing, which I really like. And that's another, you know, Parker, you were saying you have a fascination with religious horror. Like, that's also religion. People just, they want to believe, you know what I mean? So believe. I'm going to give it a 0.75 for that, for the story. Yeah. The creature, I just had to change, man, because learning about the budget, it was impressive. What I wish that happened, though, like when we see the projector screen move up and we see it, it looks like the Grim Reaper to me. Like, it had like a skeletal face.
Okay.
And it looked like he was like holding, like, you just seen like the scythe, like the blade of his scythe, instead of like, you know, what we actually get to see. But when we see like that monster and its mouth gapes open and we get the deadlights in it,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
it's pretty neat, man. I'm giving that a 0.75 as well. It was lower because I wasn't a huge fan of the creature because I feel like that could have easily been like a person,
Yeah,
instead of CG.
yeah. Would have been a higher
Wouldn't
budget
matter.
though.
Well, you think that was CG with a $150 budget?
I think this was a school. This had to have been a school project.
Yeah, I think she was probably using resources that she probably had
Yeah.
for free.
Regardless, it had to have been. There's no way he was pulling his fucking mouth open.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
and the-
hand
and the
part
Viet-
was real for sure, like pulling her head.
Oh,
forward.
sure, the person hand, yeah.
I think the thing is the I think what I was saying, the fact of we don't really know what, like, so is this supposed to be what she sees as God, or
I
does the
think
dead
so.
light in his mouth show her what what
That's
heaven
the lights,
is or
dude.
God
She's
is
dying.
or whatever? Yeah. I don't know. It's there's a lot to interpret there, but also what the creature reminded me of was the cover of Terrified.
Yes.
Oh
Split
yeah.
head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought immediately when I saw this creature.
Interesting.
Atmosphere. This short's creepy as fuck. Creepy
Yeah.
as fuck. So that's a 1 for me, man. This runtime is beautiful. 7.5 minutes, in and out, baby. But like Dustin, like when you sent this over, Parker, I was really thinking it was going to be Lovecraftian.
Me too.
Just because of the blacks and greens that we see, and I'm like, okay, fuck yeah, Portrait of the God. We're about to see some Cthulhu. Nope. I ain't mad. I'm not mad though. Not mad at all. And then effects. Learning the budget, being $150 fucking bucks. The monster looked great. And I like the projector stuff, so I'm giving that a 0.75 as well, which gives me a 4.25 for
Wow.
this short.
All right, so we're pretty much all like aligned on this one. That's pretty rad.
So 4.25 plus 4.25.
Good pick, Parker.
4.5.
Thank you.
That gives the short an average of 4.33
Okay. All right. That's
across the board.
is that part of our higher?
That's
Like where?
no, our high is like 4.8.
Okay, so that's like maybe
Yeah.
like middle tier.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all, man. Solid fucking pick especially with how little of a time we gave
Yeah.
you to find a good one, man. Or not even a good one, just to find one in general.
Yeah.
But all right, so I'm gonna head over to mine, man, and I brought a little short called "The Last Seance."
Yes, you did.
Pulled this up on YouTube just a little bit ago. Again, I rewatched 2 of the 3 of these before we before we started recording, and my wife looked at the thumbnail and she said, "No way."
No way.
So the short kicks off with these 2 little girls laying in bed, and these 2 little girls, their names are Anna and Grace. They're sisters. Laying in bed, and you hear Anna listening to someone saying, "Give me your sister." And Grace looks over, she goes, "What's wrong?" And Anna flips over and she goes, "There's a man hovering above the bed."
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good to me. But she's like, "Listen," Grace is like, "Listen, I'll protect you no matter what. Just fucking look at him in the face and I'll protect you. Close your eyes," or whatever she says.
Yeah. Close your eyes and I'll protect you.
Then she opens her eyes again, but she's a full-fledged adult. I love the idea of clairvoyancy. Being able to communicate with spirits like that. And especially how they do it in this short. We've seen it before. I mean, this short came out in 2018. We're all familiar with the Insidious movies and how they do the further walking and that.
Yeah.
The astro projecting.
Yep.
So they're at this recently deceased little girl's house with her parents, and the parents are like, "We just want to communicate with her, with Mary Beth," right? And Grace is like, "All right, so we can do it," and Anna's like, "I don't want to do it. not at all. No, thank you. And Grace is like, come on, if you don't do it, you won't have money
Yeah.
or you won't have family. Like a shitbag.
Yeah.
Out
You're
there
using her sister.
peddling her sister's gifts for money. Asshole. So she ends up doing it anyways because she's afraid of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the short, you see Anna like grab a physical something, and it happens to always be a teddy bear. Like there's a teddy bear that's in Grace's purse, but there's also a teddy bear that Mary Beth keeps dropping. So they all sit down at the round table, and they're like, Mary Beth, we'd like to speak to you. And when it zooms over to like the other side, it turns gray. It's smoky. It looks like a ghost world. It's so fucking cool. And that's what I was getting at earlier with the Insidious stuff. It looks like The Further. But I love that. I love that it's like nega. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
And then we meet Mary Beth. Now, I want to ask you two this right now. When Anna asks the mom, says, hey, how did Mary Beth die? She was like, oh, she was up in her room playing.
This is a 20-year-old, 8-year-old.
That's what I'm saying.
This is a grown-ass girl playing like a 10-year-old girl. Like it was so weird. Like it was like she was hunched over like this.
It's
just
like the camera was like
I'm
up
little
here.
girl.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. No, I thought like probably between like 5 and 7 is what I was thinking. Like very young.
No, we see this fucking adult come running out.
She was as tall as Anna there. I was like, what? Come play with me.
Yeah. And we see like the back and forths between the real world and the ghost world and how Anna's having this conversation. And then she's like, all right, so why can't you leave? And Mary Beth hits her with, because he keeps me here. Okay. And I love it because now Anna's trying, like Grace is trying to wake Anna up out of the astral projecting.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck you. Take me to him now. Dude, they go upstairs, and we enter the bedroom from the beginning of the short where these little girls are laying in bed. And this ghost of Mary Beth is like, he made me do this. He won't let me go. Like, he wanted me to bring you here. And she's like, who is he? And then we get that fucking face that comes out from behind Anna.
Yep.
You mean a member of Ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah, das Ghost.
Not the new
dude.
ghost.
Dude, and he looks like the lipstick demon minus the red. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's neat. Whatever. And then she keeps having a conversation with Mary Beth, and then Mary Beth she's like shh, but lifts up like a demon hand. And Dustin, we've been talking about this for 2 weeks straight. What does Anna do to hide from this fucking demon?
I'm going under the covers, yo.
Dude,
Whoa, she's good.
ultimate boogeyman defense is under the fucking blanket. But what got my wife is when Anna's in the room and it pans over to the bed and you see that little body like sit up. And Holly's like, no way. No, thank you. Dude, she yoinks that blanket off and it's the zombified version of her sister as a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks sick, dude. Looks so good. But then we hear a familiar voice. And he goes, I want to give my sister to give us courage. And Anna looks up at him and she goes, just like you promised. How long do you think she's had this deal going on with this demon?
Since that night.
Yeah, most likely. Probably every single
Or
time
even
they have to
before
go
that.
and do these.
Yeah, like how frequent, you know? Like, then Anna's woken up. She's woken up out of the state. And she kind of bullshits the family. She's like, yeah, she's in heaven.
Yeah, she said she's doing great.
She's
she loves
okay.
Yeah, she's also aged. I didn't know if you guys know that. She's
She's
8,
like 20
right?
now? Yeah. It's wild.
you. They grow up fast up there.
Oh my God, dude. And then she looks over to her sister and she's like, hey, thanks for saving me, whatever. And then her eyes start filling with black.
Yeah.
Cuts the credits. Dude. This short is 14 minutes and 54 seconds. 15-ish minutes short. 6 seconds short, right, Dustin?
Yeah.
6. But I'm going to head to the scare scale.
Let's do it.
All right, so my story, it's beautiful. It's a 1. It is a great fucking story, dude. Like, I guess I've already stated, I love, like, the clairvoyancy idea. I love, astral projecting. I really like those type of ghost stories a lot. Like, it's a way for us to interact with the spirits through this person's POV. The creature, I'm going to give a 0.75 to, because I'm going to lump in the little zombie girl that's on the bed as well as the actual demon.
Sure.
Okay. Atmosphere, again, I love it. I love once we hit the ghost realm, everything's like a duller color of whatever it was with the smoke and all the fog and all that shit. It's awesome. That's getting a 1 from me. Runtime. This is a 15-minute short. Mm-hmm. And there's a saying that little Dustin says all the time, if it's going to be 15 minutes, it better be a good fucking short.
Yep.
This gets a 1. This was a good fucking short. And then effects. I'm going to lump in, like I said, I'm going to do the demon with the girl and the Astro world.
Okay.
Because it looks, the sound design in this one's really good too. Really good. So I'm giving that a 0.75, which gives me a 4.5 for this short.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
It was a good one. We'll have
Parker go. Yeah.
Let's head to you, man.
All right. I feel like I'm going to disappoint you, Dustin.
Again,
These are your
I said it at the
own
beginning.
things, man.
I just want to say I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
So you mentioned the fact that this very much is like Insidious. It has that same vibe to it, and that's all I could think about the entire time I was watching this short.
You're not wrong, man. It's very,
So,
and you can tell where the influence came from.
Yeah. And, it's not like Insidious was the first one to do something like this.
Fair.
We've seen it 1,000 times before. So for the story, I gave it a 0.5 because it's just very generic. Like, I've seen a lot of seance movies. I've seen a lot of seance shorts. They all just seem the same.
But did you see the last one?
I did. That's what we're talking about right now.
Oh, okay.
So a 0.5 for story. Okay. Creature. I will lump the two, the guy who is ready for a Kiss concert and the zombie girl. And the zombie girl looked good. It looked really good. The guy or the other thing, wasn't a fan. I was like, oh, okay. Like you said, it's literally the lipstick demon with black and white painted on his face instead. And it just didn't have that same effect to me. And so that's also going to get a 0.5.
Okay.
Atmosphere, I will admit, this was creepy. It did have its creepy moments. Like I said, even though I've seen a lot of these type of movies and shorts, I still, you still get that like kind of uncomfortable feeling especially when they travel to the other side or whatever they want to call it in the short. It was the further in Insidious, but you always had that because it's like foggy and sometimes you can't see everything that's, in an area. So I'll give that a 0.75. I thought it was still creepy, even with the 20-year-old, 8-year-old girl pointing up at the stairs. Like, he's up there.
I think the age of the house is what helps that too. Like the house looks like it's an older house.
It's an old farmhouse. That's what it looked like. Yeah, it's really cool. Runtime. Even though this was 15 minutes, I think, even with my complaints, I think it still flowed very well from beginning to end. There really wasn't any moments where I was like, okay, let's move it along. I think it flowed really well. And so I don't think it's perfect, though. I think 15 minutes was still a little too long for this. I'm going to give that a 0.75.
Sure.
Effects are going to be lumped in with Creature. I think I just wasn't overly impressed with the effects. I think if they made the main creature like creepier or just more frightening, I think I would have scored it higher. But it just was so generic and just like, oh, there he is. All right, cool. And then you never see him again. So it was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of lame. So I'm gonna give that a 0.5 as well.
Okay, that gives you a 3. Dale Earnhardt, baby.
That's not bad. That's still above average.
Yeah. And I think what they should have done is with what little we see of this monster, this demon or whatever it is, we shouldn't have seen it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think would have been way more effective.
Voice and maybe
Yeah,
just a
don't-
hand would have been fine.
Don't show him at all.
Shadow.
Well, I mean, the
know.
fact that when she looks up to the ceiling and she's fucking trembling. I'd rather just that.
Yeah.
So.
No, we need the Tooth Fairy from Darkness Falls just hovering there.
Yeah. That's a movie.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right, little D, let's head over there. What you got?
All right. So I'm kind of on the same boat with you guys. Like the story, it's kind of something that's been like ran down a lot. I'm gonna go lower on that than the both of you. I think I'm gonna go 0.25, even though I really did enjoy what was happening in this, and I do love seance-y things. I mean, I live in Massachusetts. I'm by Salem, and Parker is too. He lives in Massachusetts, so we're pretty comfortable, or at least very aware of like a lot of that shit. And I still watch as much of that stuff as I possibly can. But this didn't really do anything that I feel like reinvented it a lot. But I still did enjoy it. Creature. So when this short first started, I got like the Babadook vibes of them being like always up on the ceiling. So I was like, oh, we're gonna get some kind of creepy like crawler on walls or something. No, we didn't really get that, but we did get somebody who it did look cool. And I said that I had a gripe with Alter, and this kind of ties into this. Alter, for some reason, all of their thumbnails spoil
away.
the fucking moments in a lot of
Gives away
their
the sting,
shorts.
yeah.
With this one, the thumbnail is that one scene of the thing and our main girl. I'm like, I wanted to be
Yeah.
spooked about it. So that kind of dampens how I feel about the creature. Not a lot. I'm going to go 0.75 with it. Like, I did think that it was pretty good with what they were trying to do. And, with the hands and everything, too, I thought was really, really cool. And obviously, like, I want to say dead girl, the zombified girl, I thought was really, really cool. Atmosphere, however, that's getting a 1. Even though this is pretty familiar with other things that we have seen, things that I have seen, I thought they did a really good job of flowing this in a way that the spook factor was kind of going up and up and up. And then even at the end, they still kind of had a little bit of spookiness to it. Runtime, that's also going to be getting a 1 as well. It's below 15. And I thought what they were doing, they used all their time pretty wisely. I can't really think of anything in here they could have cut out to make it shorter. So I thought they used their time wisely. And I enjoyed my time. I really, really did. Now, effects, like we can, say it was the girl. Sure, we have her. We have the main dude. But also, like the eyeball shit that was going on and like the face scratching I thought was pretty cool. But that's going to land me with a 0.75. I thought they could have done a little bit more in some regards to make it a little bit spooky. If they were going to introduce this creature, maybe have them in there a little bit more to make it a little bit spookier, maybe in the background somewhere, not full face in front of you, like kind of just like in the background. Which I think, no, we did have one moment of that, didn't we?
Pointing at the bed.
We did have one moment of her looking in the back and there being somebody there, though, I think, and like a mirror.
In a mirror, yeah, she caught a glimpse of someone,
So
which
we
was the
did
demon.
kind of get that, but that leaves me with a 3.75. I did enjoy this.
3.75.
I did enjoy it.
Divided by 3. That gives this short a collective of 3.75.
Wow. Okay. That's on the lower end, I think, of our shorts so far. I don't even know what our lowest scored one was.
Oh, you're about to find out.
Hey, It's okay. All right, so now
Find out, man.
we're
So,
moving
Dustin,
over to me now, and I understand, but I had to put this in here for reasons. We're doing short films, and we have to talk about a short film that it did get turned into a full-length movie that is very polarizing, extremely polarizing, and the short is also very polarizing, and it's called Heck. And I wonder if anybody has heard of it. I guess I'll just say it. It's a short film that created Skinamarink, essentially. And I'm a huge fan of Skinamarink. That movie scared the fuck out of me. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Heck. So, we're essentially POV of a little boy. We don't know the age. I'm going to guess around 7 or 8. Going around, just looking at walls, obviously. If you guys have seen Skinamarink, you know what this is about. And then, days kind of keep going on. And we have the creepy cartoons, which is one thing that's always creeped me out, with this and Skinamarink, is the creepy-ass cartoons. And then we start progressing through the days. I like how it goes by sleeps. It doesn't go by days, because we don't know exactly how long, because potentially this kid is in purgatory. That's how I've always kind of viewed these, especially seeing this. So it goes on. He's asking for his mom. It's like multiple sleeps later, always asking for mom, and then he's looking down, and he goes downstairs, which is where it gets really creepy for me more than anything else, is he's looking around with a flashlight. We don't see the boy at all. It's all his POV, just looking around, and then he's like quickly turns somewhere, and like I'm when things happen like that, I'm a sucker and I have to pause and look around to see if I see something. I don't know if there's actually anything there, but anyway, more days progress, and then there comes a point where he, I guess, finally goes upstairs and goes in the bedroom, which is creepy as fuck. All right, this boy has been sleeping for hundreds of days at this point, or however many days it would be, because they categorize it in sleep form. There's just a girl laying there, and then sits up. We get a cut, and it's just the bottom. Like, we only see like from her neck down, and then we get a bigger shot of her mouth gone, which that's pretty fucking creepy. That creeped me out. And then we got to another point where she's like sucked in the TV, like her face is up against it, which is really, really crazy. And then the boy, which this is more sad than anything, when he goes, "Mom, I'm sorry, I have cancer." That fucked me up. And he's like, "Well, I'm better now," and blah, blah, blah. So like, there's a lot of ways you can like think about this film. And then we progress, and then we eventually kind of get cut. There's one part, which also, this film does it too. The thumbnail is one of the creepiest shots of it looking down the stairs, and there's a face just staring at you. And that's pretty much Heck. You just land off, I think it was like 18,000 sleeps or some shit like that.
It was like 36,000.
Yeah.
It was like, it got up so high. I was like, yeah, there's something going on here. There's something
It's crazy.
otherworldly happening.
Very crazy. But have you guys seen Skinamarink?
No, and to be honest, after watching the short, I never will.
That's completely fair. And like I said, that was a movie that was extremely polarizing.
36,000 sleeps is 98 years.
Holy fuck! This kid is in purgatory for 98 years.
Well, he's not in purgatory. He tells you where he's at. Like, he finds
in hell.
He goes, "I think we're in hell."
I think we're in hell, Mom. His voice is all like...
Now, I'm going to let everybody know right now.
Okay.
This is a 30-minute short.
Yes. I'm sorry, guys, but I had to do it.
It felt like an hour, 30 minutes.
Technically, like, per the Google last time we did this and I searched it, 45 minutes and shorter is a short film.
Yes.
So right now, Little D has brought the shortest short film to the table with A Very Bad Place last week running at 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then now this one running at 30 minutes.
I fucking
Look.
love it.
When we started this, I was very coy about what I brought because I kept hearing, if it's too long, it's bad. If it's too long, we don't want to do it. And then we all started dipping our toes into certain pools, and we're like, okay, not too bad. Not too bad at, 17, 19 minutes. Whatever. Dustin? I
love you.
I don't care this is a 30-minute short. I don't. But you and I have had talks about Skinamarink
Oh, I know.
and how I do not care about that fucking movie.
I know. I had to put this in here for reasons to show that
Oh,
you can have a short film be turned into something big. Like if you
That happens all the time.
but for this scale, for something like this, with how niche and just kind of weird it is for you to be able to turn that format into something bigger, I think is insane.
I think it came out at the right time when it comes to analog horror.
Yes.
So, because it's a very big thing now. That's why a lot of people do like Skinamarink.
Yes.
Not me.
And that's completely fine. But we got to dive into the scare scale.
All right, head over to the scare scale, Dustin.
All right. So, story. There's a lot with this. This it makes you really think. I know you're like, whatever. But this is definitely a film, for me at least, in my brain.
That's fine.
There's a lot of ways I can go about this. And I'm crazy, but I'm giving it a fucking 1. And I know you guys are going to be like, what? Why? Creature, that one I'm not going to give anything to. You could argue the mom.
That's fair.
You could argue the mom. You could argue the house or wherever he is, but there's not really a creature. Would you call your mom your creature? Would you be like, Mom, you're a creature? Maybe?
Maybe. Depends on the scenario.
Maybe. Atmosphere, for me, what it does to me mentally, I'm giving it a 1 because I get really sucked into this. And even like when Skinamarink, because I watched this after I saw Skinamarink, when I found out that it was a short film, the trailer for Skinamarink really drew me. I'm like, wow, this is gonna be creepy, and I think that's what happened. But a lot of people are like, oh, this is gonna be creepy as fuck, and then some people like yourself are like, not so much. But I don't know. I love just the weird angles and weird way of storytelling. I think it does a lot for me because it's different. It's way different than like anything else that's out there. It's very artsy, very analog horror.
Very A24.
Very, very. And I know you're not a big fan. And then we're going to go over to runtime. So I know you guys are probably going to think, oh, you're going to give it a 1. No, I'm not giving it a 1. I do have this saying that if you're going to have a long short above 15 minutes, it's got to be a very good fucking short. And as much as I enjoy this short, it could 100% be a lot shorter. So I'm going to give it a 0.25. And for effects, would you even consider anything in here effects worthy other than let's turn the mic all the way up so everybody can whisper, you can hear everything? No, I'm going to give it a 0 on that one.
I mean, I would say the mom. She
I
got
guess
the
with
thing on her mouth.
the
Her
face.
mouth's gone.
Yeah.
And,
But I'm going to give it a 0. So it gives me a 2.25. I had to put it on here because I wanted people to know that you can go out there and make something short with quotes, and have it be turned into something massive. So,
Dude, but it's not just this movie. Like that is a thing. Like look at Lights Out.
sure.
Lights Out was a 2-minute short. And Guillermo del Toro seen the short from Mama.
Yeah.
And Mama was fucking awesome. It's not a uncommon thing for short films to be turned into movies, which but like you're saying, this is very niche,
Yeah.
very analogy. So Parker, we're gonna head to you, man.
oh boy. To be honest, the story I didn't think was horrible. I was kind of confused with what the hell was happening.
Sure.
But I kind of understood as it got about halfway through. I'm like, okay, this is clearly not real life. Like, this is clearly not happening in reality. And it was creepy. I mean, it really, once it gets to the end, you're like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. But it still didn't hit me. I was still like, let's go,
sure.
let's do something. It's like that meme with the thing with the stick, like, do something. That's what I was picturing the whole time. But I'll give it a 0.5 because I think there is something solid there. It just kind of drags on for way too long to the point where you just stop caring.
Sure.
For Creature, I'm actually going to give it a score because I'm going to count the mom.
Okay.
I feel like, to me, when I'm watching this entire short, I feel like the mom is kind of a creature. Like, I think because the fact that the kid is talking to her and you really never get responses from her. So you're always kind of waiting for something creepy to happen. Then when you finally see her, you're like, oh, okay. I mean, she's just a woman with her mouth missing, but it was still kind of eerie. But I didn't give it a high score. It was a 0.25.
Sure.
Atmosphere is the highest score I'm giving for this one. I gave it a 0.75 because even though it takes an eternity to get through, the atmosphere is creepy. And I think it'd be more creepy if I watch this like right now. It's like 9:30 right now. Like, if it's completely dark outside, just watch in a completely dark room, I think this would be a super effective short. But I watched in the middle of the day, so it really didn't have that same effect. But I still think that there is some good atmosphere there to really kind of get under your skin. So I gave it a 0.75. Runtime, 0. Absolutely a 0. I paused this short at least 6 times to see how much time I had left because I was like, what are we doing here? What is actually happening? Can we just end? And to be honest, Dustin literally messaged me like 5 hours ago about coming on the shows. It sent me the shorts. I didn't look up any of them before watching them. I just started watching them, and I'm in the middle. This was the first one I watched. Because it was the first one he sent me. I just watched them in order. I watch it, and my wife's sitting next to me, and we're watching. She's kind of watching it, and she's just like, "What is going on? Like, what are these noises? What's going on the TV? Like, what is this?" And I'm like, this movie or this short really feels like a movie that came out last year called Skinamarink. Not knowing that this was the same freaking dude, I literally look up on IMDb. I'm like, you son of a bitch. And I literally messaged Dustin. I go, this was Little D's choice, wasn't it? This is 100% a Little D choice.
Hell yeah.
And to be honest, I wasn't planning on watching Skinamarink before. This solidified the fact that I will never watch Skinamarink.
Sure.
Because I was just in agony for about 75% of this, just going, when does this end? Like, I get it. People like this. Like Little D, you say you like this. That's cool. Like, I wish I could enjoy things like this, but these auditory horrors are just excruciating to get through. I need a story. I need a plot. I need something to happen. Sure. And when nothing's happening, but some creepy voices once in a while and kid walking around, like, it's just not my thing. So yeah, runtime 100% gets a 0. And then effects, I'll give it a 0.25 just because of the mom and, the house kind of, I know it's not really an effect, but the house was kind of creepy. So
Sure.
That gives you a 1.75.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Strap in, everybody.
Let's go.
I hate analog horror.
And that's fair.
That's what it is. Analog horror.
That's fair. It's not
I
for
hate
everybody.
it.
It's really not.
It's not. And like Parker said, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. If you like it, you like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it at all. But for the story, I kind of put 2 and 2 together about 18 minutes in to this short. And I'm like, okay, they're not alive. Like, that's not it. And then at the end, when he goes, Mom, I think we're in hell. I'm like, that solidified it. That they're not alive. So I'm going to give the story a 0.5. Because there is story there.
Yeah.
You learn about the
grasp
this little
for it.
kid. Exactly. You have to search for this fucking story. Creature. We keep going back to the mom in the bed. she's got no bottom fucking mouth. It's a 0.25 for me. Atmosphere. Wasn't scared. To be honest, dude, I was more irritated at the fact that I was watching this. I'm not going to turn it off. I'm not going to fast forward. I'm not going to watch it in fast speed. I do it out of the fact that this is why we do these short films, is to have these conversations about them.
Yeah.
I just did not care. You know, and that's as nice as I can put it.
That's fair, dude. That's fair.
I like Parker. I paused this thing about 6 times to see how fucking much longer I had left. And I didn't know until you just said it that it was the same dude from Skinamarink.
Yeah.
But
Kyle Edward Ball.
But I had the feeling, I was like, man, this feels a lot like fucking Skinamarink, and I don't like that. Runtime, that's getting a fat 0 for me, man. 30 minutes is a long time for something that I don't care about. That I'm not having fun. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to be real mean about it.
No, you're not.
Something I'm not having fun with. But at the same time, there's people who take this shit. But it's not me. Effects, 0 as well. Because what was there other than the mom, right? Like I've already touched on that.
Pretty much just that, and just like I guess you could argue the camera style or
the filter that was used,
or like the super hot mics to make everything super fuzzy and sensitive.
Sure.
Thank God there were subtitles, so I wouldn't have understood anything that was being said.
Exactly. So that gives me a 0.75 for this short.
Whoa.
Dude, I feel so bad about it.
Don't. This is why we do this shit, dude.
1.75.
Trust me.
All I know is that I finished watching this, and when I sent Big D the message about this was a little D pick, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I have my thoughts," and I'm like, I feel we're gonna be on the same page.
Yeah.
I knew. Well, as I'm watching, I knew he was. I was like, he's not gonna like this at all.
And I knew going into this, I'm like, I'm gonna pick this one. I know it's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. I know it's not. I know it's long, but I'm doing it out of more fairness to be giving it more of an audience, maybe because for people who do like Skinamarink, maybe don't even know that this is even out. Maybe like I want to see what the concept was before he did this, because obviously Skinamarink is a bit of a different story. I'm gonna say
1 hour and 40 minutes.
it is long, but listen,
so it's 3 of these fucking short films.
Skinamarink fucked me up. I saw it in the theater. I went to Cinema Salem. They did a special screening there, so I went all the way to Salem to see this. And what happened? Know how this one's kind of POV from a little boy. This one, there's no POV. You see the kids, and I did interview the dad, Ross Paul. He's on Facebook. He's really, really cool. But the dad was in that, and then his son was also in this, and it's focused around a boy and a girl, and they have nobody around them. And as a father, the movie fucked me up so hard that after I left the theater, I had to call his mom to make sure he was okay. This movie, like, it fucked something up with me internally, mentally, not for me, but to make sure that my son was okay because of what it was making me go through. And I've never felt that before. So that's why I really enjoy Skinamarink. It did something so different. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. No one wants to stare at a fucking wall. I get it. But the undertones of what was happening in that film, it fucked me up. Fucked me up hard.
No, and that's fair. Like I said, I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. This is definitely for someone. You know, and like I appreciate the fact that you're wanting to bring more eyes to this style of filmmaking because it's divisive.
Yeah.
It's very divisive. So our average for tonight's episode is a 3.22. Right down the middle. So Parker, what order would you watch these in an anthology?
Do I have to watch all of them again?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh no.
Again.
To be honest, I think I would just do the order that I actually did it in. And so I started off with Heck, and then I originally did Anna's pick, but then I watched The Last Seance, and then I did my pick. I think because I just want to get this long ass, boring ass thing out of the way, and then end with mine, which I think was
Portrait of God.
out of the three the most polarizing, or like the most, I don't know, interesting to kind of cap it
Sure.
all off.
Sure. Little D, what about you, man?
I would start mine off with Portrait of God, and then I would go over to Heck, and then I would end it with Last Seance.
Okay. I would get Portrait of the God out of the way first. I dug it a lot. I'd like to watch that one again. Last Seance would be second. And then I'd put Heck on third, because if I fell asleep
I was just
during
gonna
it,
say that.
I knew I wouldn't be missing anything.
Yeah. That's
You woke up and
that's
it's
a
still
good word
playing.
there.
Yeah, right. It like froze on the fucking screen, or it's like my apartment. It's like the camera's in.
Oh shit!
Yeah, wait a minute. Parker, we really appreciate you jumping on, man. Go ahead, let everybody know what you got cooking over on Dissect That Film.
Oh, well, currently, as of the recording, our No Holds Barred episode just dropped with Charlie from all the different podcasts out there. Give Me Back My Action, Horror, B Action, Action Elite. There's, I think, a few other ones he's on. He's on a lot of them. He's kind of like Big D.
Yeah.
We got a Patreon, a formerly Patreon episode of the Monster Zone coming out on 1957's Beginning of the End. And then next week's episode is going to be the start of our Underworld coverage.
Oh, hell
We're going to
yeah.
be going through the entire Underworld franchise. It's going to be exciting stuff. So, yeah, that's what we got cooking over there.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, I really wish I got to be a part of that No Holds Barred episode, man.
Yeah, we missed you, man. We missed you.
What's that smell? Dookie. Dookie. Oh, man. But over here on the Barrens, we are continuing on with Monster Mash March, where I get to pick all 4 movies because it is Dustin's birthday month.
It is.
We had just, when this episode drops, we had just put out Ghoulies 2. So that'll be a ton of fucking fun. But, Little D, what do we got cooking at the end of April and beginning of May?
We are going to Salem Horror Fest in person. All of us. Anna, Big D, myself. It's going to be great.
And Co.
We're going to be covering everything. So there's going to be a ton of content. I don't know how we're going to put everything out. We might just do blocks of it every day. Depends. Maybe we'll just be doing some live streaming on Instagram or something like that. We can be doing that. But I do want to start doing some interviews. It's something I've always wanted to do, attending Salem Horror Fest. Now that I have company with me, it makes it way easier. So it's going to be a blast. So if you guys are going to be in the area, it's April 30th through May 4th. Tickets are on sale now. And I'll have the link down below for anybody who wants to go and participate or come see us. There's a lot of things to do, and it's going to be fun as hell.
And maybe Mr. Parker will be there for a day. We'll see.
Parker, if you
maybe.
go, I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to be bashing you a lot, dude.
Whoa.
Why?
Well, he wants to bash me if I go?
That's what I'm saying. What the
No,
heck?
I'll be really happy because I've been trying to get you out over there for quite a while.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I know. We literally live in the same state, but we have still not ever met each other.
We're both family men, so I understand, man. I understand.
So, as Dustin was saying, we also have a Patreon and YouTube exclusive show with Yellow Jackets,
Yes.
where Anna, Little D, and Parker has actually jumped on an episode. Where
Yes.
they're talking about Yellow Jackets Season 3 over on the YouTube and over on the Patreon. And for the Patreon, you get episodes up to a week early for as low as $1.
$1 Bob.
$1, Bob.
$1, Bob. And you get them a week early, man. And then you get the Yellow Jackets episodes before they drop. So ton of good shit cooking over on the Patreon. We have a new shirt design that is out from Derek Eyeball Soup, and by the time Salem Horror Fest comes around, we will have our Tales from the Barrens shirt design out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, I am so fucking pumped for that one, dude.
Me too.
It's gonna be good. But yeah, Lil D, what do you got before we get out of here, man?
Just as always, just thank everybody. Thank you, Parker, for coming on. You definitely came on in a very divisive episode, which I feel like the last two tales have been kind of divisive with either run times or subject matters that we've been doing. But yeah, just support everybody. Go check out Parker. I'll link all that down below as well for his Dissect the Film podcast. Go support him, Dan and Angela. It's a great show. I've been over there multiple times, and it's always a blast. I love what you guys are doing, and same with Big D. Go support all of his shows because he's also running a lot as well. It's just a very, very fun time to be a podcaster, and just to consume all these great outlets, whether it be short films or full lengths, whatever it may be. There's so much out there, and thank you guys for supporting us, and we'll see everybody on the next one.
Later. Bye-bye.